Why is sensory integration important? In this short video, we're going to look at the proprioceptive system. So what is sensory integration? Sensory integration is how we perceive the world around us through our senses, and how we process that information in our brains, and then how we respond to it in our actions and in our movements. Individuals with developmental disabilities, such as autism, tend to have differences in how they process sensory information. Proprioception is the sense of where our body is in space. So if you can imagine, if you were to close your eyes and someone was to perhaps put your hand on your head, with your eyes closed, you'd be able to say, my hand is on my head. That is your proprioceptive system. We've got receptors in our muscles, in our joints, and in our tendons, which inform us of where our body is in space. The function of our proprioceptive system is really closely linked to our motor planning. So everything we do in our day-to-day lives, most of it anyway, involves motor planning. Proprioception also gives us a calming effect to our nervous system. So if we think about things that we do to relax, it might be a massage. That is input to our muscles and our joints, or yoga when we've got a lot of stretch in our joints and our muscles. Again, that has a calming effect on our bodies and our nervous system. So what happens when there's a dysfunction in our proprioceptive system? What are the kind of things we may see? Number one would be difficulties with motor planning. A child may have difficulty learning a new skill. They may be able to do something one day and then not be able to do it again the next day. We also see children who seek out proprioceptive input. So this may appear as they are moving more than other children. So they may move our bodies, because when you think of when we move, we get more feedback from our muscles and our joints. Another thing they may do is they may like to tap toys or bang objects against surfaces to feel the vibration through their muscles. They may also like tense their muscles and joints, because again, if we tense, we're getting more feedback about where our body is in space. One thing we can do is give them more opportunities to receive proprioceptive input. So movement. Give them more opportunities for movement breaks throughout their day. Another thing we can do is, perhaps if you're a parent and you're out and about and you can really see that your child is seeking this input, you can take their two hands and just gently rock back and forward. It could be if you're standing waiting in a queue. It's really easy to do, and you'll find that that will help kind of keep your child calm. At home, a nice activity that you could do is you may want to lie your child down on a mat and get a big exercise ball, and you can roll this ball all over their body, and that can give them some calming input. Regarding motor planning, one really simple tip you can use is do activities in front of the mirror. So here at Maharat, we do lots of nursery rhymes and actions. So by doing these activity in front of a mirror, the child is getting feedback about how their body looks when they are making these movements. So if, for example, with a young child, you may want to do, if you're practicing clapping your hands or patting your head, you can do that in front of a mirror so they can see how that looks. For an older child, you may do dance moves, you may do some yoga poses. Another tip for motor planning is the hand over hand method. So this should only be used when a child is already motivated to do an activity. So it's not about trying to get them to do something they don't want to do. It's about helping them to do something that they are already motivated to do. So for example, if a child is trying to take off their shoe, but they're not successful and they're reaching out for help from you, rather than you just taking the shoe off for them, you can use the hand over hand method, where you're going to place your hand on top of their hand, put it on the heel of their shoe and support them to take their shoe off. Using this method, they are going to get feedback about where they should place their hand, how much force they should use in the movement, and feedback on the particular movement. So with practice, this might then, where the child will not need this full amount of support, it might be the case where they just need you to direct their hand to the shoe and they will be able to do it. So it does involve lots of practice, but we are seeing lots of success using these tips here at Maharat. And I hope you have found them helpful.